Hi everyone, it's Anna Maria from Hasmark, and I'm joined by our lovely Jen and the amazing Juliana. And we're here to talk about her new book, Use Your Secret Power. Her story starts with humble beginnings growing up in rural Hungary with very little, a large family, and even bigger dreams. She left her homeland for a better life at a time when leaving was illegal. And this propelled Juliana and her young family into a life as refugees, moving through wild fears, impossible challenges, giant situations that seemed utterly impossible to face. But little by little, she built her life exactly as she intended when she was 6 years old. She'll tell you more about that story. Life area by life area, she gathered and made it exactly as she wanted. So, Juliana's story, it's one truly dedicated to following your dreams in the best way possible. So, Juliana, hello, hello. Thank you so much for
Hello,
coming.
hello, everybody. Hello, and thank you for having me here.
My goodness, it's such a pleasure. I know we were talking earlier, and I can't wait to hear all your juicy answers. But before you're such a lively person in general, and you'll get to see that of Juliana throughout the interview. But I wanted to talk first about the big one, the heavy one, fear, because reading your book and going through your story, you've had to face, I mean, not the kind of fear that you're just one fear, a few of them convoluted together and made something that for most people would be just too big. And I wanted to hear from you and share, how did you navigate that and still be positive, for lack of a better way of putting it, in this world?
Yes, the fear. I have a fear. But what is that fear? First of all, how was impacting my body? The fear. Fear is a bad, negative feeling. And why I got that fear? Because I was sacrificing my past life, what I known for 30 years, I made in Hungary, and I was sacrificing my home, my house, my country, my mother, my loved one, my neighbors, friends, everything what I known for my first 30 years in my life. And I sacrificing that. It was comfortable, it was safe, but I sacrificed, give up that life for a better one. I give up my comfortable life for not just better one, something more, something bigger. I had a dream and I sacrificed. I left my country. I made a decision and I choose to live my dream. Not dreaming, live my dream. And that moment when I was acting, leaving my sweet home, my animals, everything, my country, my life behind me. I was sitting in the car. The fear was growing. I don't know. My heart beating was I never felt before. And I was sitting in the car and nobody could notice my fear. That was my fear. That was so big. And I was telling myself, Juliana, don't look at back. If you look at back, you can't go. If you look at back, you can't go. End of your dream. So the first trouble was in my life. Don't look at back, just go ahead. Focus on the road and go ahead. The 200 meters gravel road seems to me, 200 meters, 20 kilometers. That was the fear I was facing. Keep myself focused on my dream. That's the only way to do the first step to my dream. And the second step was 2 hours later, so I survived. I didn't look back. I did it. I got a big, I did it. I didn't look back. So first step completed. Yes, the next step, 2 hours later, we arrived at the checkpoint in Hungary, in the Austrian-Hungarian border checkpoint, and the officer was stopped and asked the passport and everything. Even biggest fear jumped. My heart, not just my heart beating, went up my stomach. And I felt I'm going to vomit because the fear, that kind of fear, what in my body reacting was the fear to lose, not only lose my dream, lose my freedom, lose because escaping from the country during the communist system was illegal, and that act, what I was doing, was illegal and punishable. So my fear was coming, not only losing my house, my everything belongs, but losing my own freedom, my life, my children, lock away. And that fear I was managing. The way how I was managing, incredible way. I didn't believe it's true, but it happened. The way I was managing, I was watching this policeman officer who was checking the car and checking it, open the boots. When he opened the boots, ooh, there was my lunchbox. The lunchbox has food for all of us for a day or two. And my husband and I, we hide 4 air tickets, money in the food, inside the food. And that carry that amount, it's not a big money, it's maybe less than $5,000. But if he finds the $5,000, Juliana is in jail. That
My
fear,
heart is
the way
beating.
I manage guys, it, I was looking that officer, I keep an eye on him, every single movement. And I was thinking, not on the fear, not on the jail. You know what I was thinking? This is how I escaped. I was thinking, let me go. Don't touch this. Just let me go. Let me go. Let me free. Let me go. Let me go. Everything is okay. I have a passport. I didn't escape. It's not illegal to go to do Christmas shopping. Let me go. And he was open the door and closed my lunchbox, put it back, everything, closed the boots, and he let me go. Let us go. I was free. The biggest fear disappeared like this. So
Mm.
we end up in Austria, Vienna, beautiful Vienna in Novotel. We spent a couple of nights there, and 10 our holiday in the 4-star hotel was over. Because we thought with my husband, we didn't know, we didn't have a plan. We thought, oh, we're going to buy air ticket and we're going to fly to Australia. Hoo-hoo! No, no, we didn't fly to Australia. We end up in the same night in a refugee camp.
Mm.
And in the refugee camp, we've been locked away for 10 days. There was fear, there was horrible life, there was every bad possible things there, but we survived safely. So 10 days after this, they let us go to be free outside, and our family name was called, and we got the bus and they take us to the guest house, which is South Austrian area. The name, the little a countryside called Wartberg on the Krems. And we arrived over there, so we've been accommodated there until the country at that time, Australia, Canada, and what was the other country? Canada, Australia, and New Zealand was giving giving an invitation and interview for people, and they can go. So we take 18 months in that little village under Barbank Cramps. So the next fear, the fear wasn't over. The fear was growing, going, leaving, escaping. The next fear was we arrived in that little, it's a beautiful guest house. It was in the evening. We arrived 27 refugees in that guest house. The guest house we have family by family, everybody had. We had one bedroom, beautiful, neat, clean, beautiful bedroom, no toilet and no bathroom. The four of us, my family was in that bedroom, accommodation in that bedroom. And we got the house rules said by the owner, and 27 of us was standing there in the living room. And when we standing there, I was watching this millionaire man who was the owner of this guest house. He's an entrepreneur, and I was watching him. He was in the kitchen, and we've been standing there for ready for dinner, or take the table, choose the table, sit down and have a dinner. And I didn't search my table where we sit, where my family sit with my daughter and my husband. I was watching him. He was in the kitchen and he was scratching his head like this. And I was thinking, when I was watching him, one man alone going to serve us at dinner, 27 us, and he was scratching his head. And when I was thinking, sketching, he needs help. But that was coming from my sixth sense. He needs help. I did not think, can I go in the kitchen? Can I ask anyone? By the way, there was a rule the translator was telling, because I didn't speak any. I speak only 3 words. Help, maybe not. I know I can say in German help, Hilfe. Anyway, I jumped in the kitchen and I was offering him, can I help? But I couldn't say in German. I just was saying, help. And he was saying, the body language back. And he was showing, pointing. The basket with bread and food was beautifully prepared. I never see in my life before. Beautifully prepared dinner on plate. And I was grabbing 6 tables. We had 6 baskets, and I was take it out, went back and put them a beautiful silver plate full of food. And I placed nicely in each table the way I thought is good, put it in the middle, and it was good. And I went back and he was asking, yes, you can take a seat. Take a seat. He was asking me, go out to the kitchen, take a seat and enjoy your dinner. The translator, he called the translator and he was telling me. And the translator was a Hungarian man, and he was very helpful. So we take a seat, got the dinner. During the dinner, I was thinking, I help him. I going to clean the table and remove back everything. I take out, I remove back, I help him. And I did, without asking any permission. So I removed back everything. And he was asking, just leave top of the dishwasher everything. I put 27 people, 27 plates, many dishes and everything. I put nice, neatly and organized the way I thought is neat and nice and organized, back as it was before, without food. And he was calling the interpreter, and the interpreter was telling me, there is a dishwasher and you can put the plates and cutlery to the dishwasher. And I said, I never see dishwasher. I see dishwasher only on TV screen before. I have no idea how to use this. And the owner was instructing him, don't worry, just pack it. It's okay. And please come back tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. And thank you. And he gave me a little bit of smile. That smile was more than enough for me to feel I am, because I stripped. I have nothing there, not speaking the language. I have nothing. I have only one handbag. And I was refugee number 27. And tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, I was there and I got a job. I got a job. From these circumstances, refugee number 27, stripped away everything. I have only the 2 daughters and one handbag. Didn't speak the language. Didn't understand the culture, didn't know how to use dishwasher, employed in full time, because I had. That moment shaped my rest of my journey as a refugee. shaped in a better way, shaped my hope, shaped my feeling immediately. Go out from the fear, that mentality, that mental state. That fear is the worst possible mental state whatever person, any person could have. And I almost immediately went to the area where I felt useful. I felt I have a hope. I got a job. I can help. I can give. I can take care of the, cleaning the rest of the house. I can be useful because I have nothing, no language, no money, nothing.
So
So
you found
this is how I survived the first critical part of my escaping from Hungary.
You talk a lot about the impact of small decisions in chapter 3. Why do you think these seemingly insignificant moments carry so much weight in shaping our future?
The small steps in our life, in my life, I'm talking about only my life, the small step, what the small steps? Small steps, sometimes it's seemingly absolutely insignificant, not even pay attention. But if we do small steps, what I did in that situation, that circumstances, when I sometimes was unbearable or bad, because I was really in a limited refugee life, the small steps, what the small steps I feel shaped my life, the way I was moving away from that fiercity mentality. It shaped the small step, for example, in living in this guest house. Small steps, for example, got the rejection letter from the Austrian embassy. It put us in an unbearable, painful situation. We lost our dream. We lost everything because the Australia rejected us. Small steps was just write a letter. Write a letter. Because we've been arguing before. We've been blaming each other. We've been really in a bad state of mind. That small step, what I got from Traiskirchen, when we've been locked, and I got it, that torn piece of paper, I hide away, and I pull up from my handbag when we've been absolutely hopeless, suffering, because we have no hope. That step, when I put up this little piece of paper and I was asking my husband, can I write a letter to this man? Unknown man. We don't know it exists or not. Doesn't matter. Get the pen, and I wrote a letter to that man. That small step, I not even knowing that my letter will arrive or not, but I did. Write a letter as it is real. And I've had a feeling it will arrive. And the letter is arrived. That small insignificant step, write a letter for you not even know it's arrived or not, or got it or, doesn't matter. But I did it. Then I went to the post office and I hand over that letter. And the post office man was taking away the letter and the money, and I was pulling back my hand. I had this strange, beautiful feeling from inside. And that feeling it was a message. You got the hope, you got the place where to go. And the letter was sent to the unknown. Fast forward 2 weeks later, no, a month later, we got the response to this letter. You won't believe this. The letter was from the person from WA, Western Australia, where I am now. His name is Lazaraj. He was the president of the Western Australian Hungarian Association. And he wrote a letter back. He responded. And he was offering hope and help. when we've been rejected twice, rejected 4 times together, rejected from the family from Sydney, 2 times, rejected from Australia, and the letter was sent to the wrong place. That is absolutely insignificant act towards my dream, regardless was true or not, moved me away for believe myself, my dream, and the possibility, hope, possibility is there. So it's almost, I cannot describe how beautiful feeling was that to get that hope back again.
And I noticed throughout your book, you have a very special relationship with hope. Because for most people that would be in your situation, it would kind of die off and it would dwindle. It would become the tiniest spark that would be sometimes hard to revive, like from yourself within, right? But you kept
And
going. It's like your hope is always there somehow, like it never leaves you. And I wanted to ask a little bit more about how do you do anything special to keep it alive? Like how do you work with hope in your life?
hope is when we hopeless, when we hopeless, we are in the fear city situation. We locked ourselves to the limited life circumstances, right? And we got the hope. What the hope does for the hopeless, where I was hopeless, the hope moved me away, moved my mind away to the hope. A hopeless has a hopeful mind. And the hope, what the hopeful mind give me, and that's become a habit since my early young childhood. It's a magical tool, by the way. The hope, hopeless to the hope. When have nothing, never give up a hope. The hope is going deeply. Never give up on yourself. Believe yourself. Never give up hope. And the hope takes you one step away from that limited, hopeless circumstances. That's the first step, a hope.
Did you notice the change when you had the house with the full pantry?
Oh, that's a beauty. I know I was living already. I was living already my dream. The the full pantry mentality comes from my early childhood. And I was approximately 6 years old. And I was listening my parents, some friends was over there and they've been planning, they've been dreaming, they've been talking what to do. Oh, and I was listening them. The whole number was, you can stay with the parents, but you shut up. Don't interrupt. Okay, I was listening them. But after a while, it was around 12 o'clock, whatever it is, I didn't know the time that time because I was a year before I went to school. So I didn't know how to write. I didn't know how to read, what time is it. I didn't know, but I was so hungry. And my parents and friends, their friends was talking about plan, talking about farm, talking about they will have goose, they will have chooks, they will have everything. And I was listening then. As a 6 years old, hungry child, I didn't eat that day one bite of food. It was midday, maybe even after 12. I was so hungry. And I become so frustrated to listen them. And it wasn't the first time I listened them. They dreamed, they planned, but I got so frustrated and so pissed off. They just talk, 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 plan, plan, plan. They didn't do anything about it. I am here. It's 6 years old child. I'm so hungry. And they just still planning, dreaming, didn't do anything. I'm suffering as a child. And I jumped up. I was sitting. I jumped. I always jump when I was changing. And I was saying to them, when I will be an adult like you, I will have a house. And I will have chooks and porks and pigs and dogs and cats and everything. And my pantry will be big. And my pantry will be full. And I will be have enough food to give you, give everybody, share. It doesn't matter, relatives or family. I will have plenty to share, to give. Nobody will be hungry around me because I will have plenty. And they said, you shut up or you go out. I was not wasting any minute. I ran out, not sit back. I choose to go out. That moment when I ran out, I escaped. My first escaping mechanism. I didn't notice I didn't notice that time, but I escaped. To be free, to be outside, and I pick up a piece of wood. I cleaned a little area in the front yard. There was dust. I cleaned it with my hand, the little hand, 6 years old, and pick up the little piece of wood, and I was drawing. I was drawing my house. My house, have a dog, have a rose bush in the front. The way, 6 years old, not even school, with the piece of wood, the rubbish. Poor children, poor child, hungry. But that really entertained me, was keeping me dreaming. And I was drawing a big pantry with shelves full of sausage, food, bread, everything. I have everything, eggs, chooks. I have everything to give, to share. That was my very first dream. That dream I created in the dust with the piece of moon was give me a direction rest of my life to have always food around me, to have plenty, have an abundant mentality. But how can I have abundant mentality? Only if I run away, escape to the freedom and be creative. So I gradually adopted that escaping mechanism to run out or go and do something, be creative. When I was using my creative side in my brain, that was the first time I used, but many times I was using in my life. Today I use minute by minute creative part because it's so wonderful. The freedom is there. And when I become a real estate agent, that was really guiding me how to be creative in the most competitive environment I entered without a proper language. I was competing with people who's born here. Their mother language is English. Think about that. And I didn't have a skill. I didn't have a language. And go and compete. Hello, not my chance. So what I did, I used my escaping mechanism, a creative part. I created. I'm no longer competing with anyone. I developed a new skill. I studying. I went to school, got the diploma, got the new skill, got do the other course, personal development, everything, to develop myself, educated myself to be a different person, to be a creative person, to be the person who I can share with my other real estate fellow when they call me. I'm not jealous, I'm not competing, and they call me, do you know, Juliana, can you help? Yes, I can give you the data. I know, because I'm not competing. And in real estate, that's very fruitful. Very fruitful. So
Oh, I love your share because your life experience was so rich that it allows you to have so many yummy bits that you can pull from life lessons and but also implement them in real life because that's where the hard part is for well it's just the hard part whether I don't know if you've been doing it forever it's still a smidge, right? And I wanted to ask you, if you had a chance to sit in front of your reader who's reading the book, what conversations would you want it to come, or like the thing, what's the thing that you want them to get the most out of the book? And like who did you write this book for so that they can get that big message out of you?
Thank you for this question. Thank you. I wrote the book to share my struggle, my escaping mechanism. What I give up my life, I sacrifice something to a better one, to fulfill my dream. And I wrote that book. I was hoping when I was writing the book, and I'm still hoping, I got the reader who similar suffering, has a limited life, and suffering have a fear or limitation, and they have a dream, and they would love to do better, or they have a dream. They want to get more like I did, more education, more, to give more for my daughter, to give more education, to give better possibility to choose a better life. And I was thinking when I was writing, I share my life authentically. And for those readers who has in similar situation like I had, not that bad and not that suffering and struggling, but for those readers, I have question. And my question is for those readers, and you too. I asking you, my dear readers, is any area in your life where you really want to do better, you want to give more, you want to have more happiness, more freedom, or more peace, or more love, or more satisfaction, or just any area in your life and you simply want to do better. If you say yes,
Yes, at least to one, if not a few life areas, that's for sure.
you have one area. If you say yes, one area in your life, the key is in your hand, and there is a big gate. Use your key. Open that big gate. Behind the gate is a highway. The highway is yours. Only one way. Go ahead. Go ahead is a special way. There are detours in the highway. Use your secret power. You have access to it. In my book, there is a step-by-step guide. You can use it. And trust in yourself. Trust and believe yourself. You're capable to achieve your dream and live your dream. Not dreaming, live your dream. You're so perfect and you deserve the life what you dream. And go. I hope one day you tick the box like I did. I achieved, fulfilled all my dreams. And one day your box is ticked because you fulfilled your dream. Use your secret power. And you and me, hand by hand, we jump together and we will say together, yes, you did it. I did it. We did it. And I just want to say for you, thank you. I love you the way who you are now, regardless.
It was so special.
When does Use Your Secret Power launch, and how can people get a hold of a copy?
The secret part, use your secret part, the copy, go to amazon.com and you can buy from amazon.com. And there is a barcode and you can have access to amazon.com and directly download audio version, or you can buy in any other language like Hungarian or English version, and you can have access to Use Your Secret Power.
Julianna, you are such a wealth of wisdom and information. Where can our readers and our audience find you? Where do you hang out online?
I have a Facebook page and they can find my Facebook page. And I also have a website page, Use Your Secret Power website page. And you can go there and you can get information. And you can get fresh information, blogs, what people say about the book. And you can read more about that in that website
Amazing.
page.
And we'll make sure that you have the correct link, whether it's above, below, or on the side, depending on the platform you're watching. We'll make sure you get to Julianna in good care. Julianna, thank you so much for joining us today, for spending time with us and sharing about your beautiful life and your beautiful book.
Thank you for having me.